high definition on KBTX, your news leader. This is News 3 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Unsightly and sometimes unhealthy illegal dumping sites appear to be popping up more and more across the Brazos Valley.
And not only are they an eyesore, in some spots they're harmful to the environment. Last night we showed you an illegal dump site in the Navasota River. Now this site you're looking at is along Democrat Road, which is on the Grimes-Brazos County line. Our crew found household trash, furniture, aluminum cans, and lots of tires scattered around the river. Since that time, we've heard from many of you about even worse locations.
So we sent News 3's Daniel Armbruster back out to investigate. Tonight he shows us some very trashed out areas and what can be done about it.
What would you do if this was part of your drive home every day? A site that certainly doesn't smell any better than it looks.
It's unsightly for one thing, it's unhealthy for another, and it's illegal.
If it were only in one location, it may not be as big of a problem. But Democrat Road is only the beginning, because this is a site you can find in numerous places near bodies of water across our area. This is the Brazos River, a source of drinking water for several municipalities across Texas. At this location, down Batts Ferry Road, just outside of College Station, we found the remains of what appeared to be the carcasses of 2 cows, just feet from the water. Add to that hundreds of empty shotgun shells scattered amongst other trash. Viewers also told us that we should go back to the Navasota River, where we would find more disturbing sights on Long Trestle Road. From dead animals, tires, and old vacuum cleaners, the Navasota River is polluted with items that are potentially toxic. And that's why illegal dumping carries a stiff penalty that can range from a misdemeanor fine all the way up to 15 years in jail.
Anytime that there's dumping near a waterway, the water code kicks in, and all the punishments under the water code for illegal dumping are enhanced punishment.
The problem isn't that most of these types of areas aren't ever cleaned, because they are, according to residents and local sheriff's offices. The real problem is the violators who continue to return to these rural areas, and they're not easy to catch.
We have to be in the right place at the right time. Grimes County has a pretty high call load, so it's hard for a deputy to be in the right place at the right time all the time. Doesn't mean it will not happen. Law enforcement agencies tell us they need help from the public to be able to make arrests. In Brazos County, Daniel Armbruster, News 3.
Now, there are locations in Brazos and Grimes counties to dispose of trash properly. To find those locations, go to our web channel, KBTX.com.
A morning drug bust in Bryan lands 2 brothers behind bars. Bryan police executed a search warrant at a house in the 2300 block of Long Drive, where they found drugs and cash. And all 19 grams of cocaine was seized. Police arrested Rodney and Roderick Nelson. The brothers are charged with evading arrest, possession of a firearm by a felon, failure to identify, and driving with an invalid license.
If you were awakened by sounds of helicopters overhead very early this morning, you are not alone. Law enforcement agencies got dozens of calls, people worried about what they heard. Some of those choppers were U.S. Army CH-47s or Chinooks like these. The spokesperson for the Texas Engineering Extension Service says the helicopters were here for a secret military exercise over the training area called Disaster City near Easterwood Airport. Now, the operation was so secret, the law enforcement agencies we talked to told us they had to call the Federal Aviation Administration to find out what was happening. A lot of times when something like this happens, we start thinking terrorists, and actually it might have been an exercise against terrorism. A&M's Texas Transportation Institute has been in the business of crash testing for more than 40 years, but it added an entirely different kind of test when terrorists started using vehicle bombs to attack people. This test is a 15,000-pound truck crashing into an anti-terror perimeter barrier. Nasatka Security brought its latest barrier to TTI to see if it works.
Obviously, after 9/11, had a tremendous surge in interest on a variety of different types of models, and we have customers globally using barrier systems.
In a special report tonight on News 3 10 at 10, testing for terrorism. I'll give you a close look at this latest test and why Nasatka Security chose TTI for this testing.
Fights in and around high school campuses are a common sight regardless of where you live. But recently, we've noticed more and more fights being videotaped and posted on the internet. We wanted to find out what's behind the postings and the fights themselves. The school district and police say it's nothing more than teens getting into trouble. But as News 3 3's Alex Villarreal tells us some of those doing the fighting say it's part of a gang-type activity.
Well, yeah, all the time. You don't want someone just to run up on you.
I wouldn't say it's a bad place or nothing. I'd just say you be on your guard while you up there.
Bryan High School students say it's happening a lot more often, both on campus and off. What are they talking about? See for yourself. These videos don't just show beatings being dealt. You can also see other kids laughing and recording the fights with their phones.
They're passed through text or email or posted on internet sites for everyone to see, and it kind of promotes the fighting in a way that probably wouldn't have been promoted back, 15, 20 years ago.
Bryan police are well aware of the fighting and say school resource officers, also known as SROs, have stepped up patrols.
Along with security and school staff members, they're walking off campus around these businesses.
SROs have issued 53 fighting tickets this year, compared to 216 last school year. Police say the last major fight they had was this one in March.
And there was one yesterday, man. My homegirl Celeste got in a fight. Homegirl Celeste grabbed it. Bah, bah, bah.
So what's behind some of these fights? Students blame some of it on gangs. The police department acknowledges there are gangs in Bryan, but did they have anything to do with the fights?
You got your West Side, and you got your Latin Kings, you got your little VLs, then you got your little Stir 13s. Southside. Yeah, you got the HKC. Yeah. The Killer Clique. Yeah, that's what it is right there, HKC.
Something you got to think about is some people think they're in a gang, but they're not really in a gang. They're in a club or they're in a tight-knit friends.
There is a new group in town, identified in several of the video postings.
It's a little crash test dummy gang. That's like the one that's really starting stuff. Yeah.
So what's a crash test dummy gang?
It's like they're down for whatever.
We are gathering intel and we're monitoring it, but this group doesn't meet an organized criminal street gang by our definition yet.
While these groups think the videos are promoting their presence, police are using them to help take the groups down.
You need to think about that. It's not always a cool thing to do to film it and post it, because it can also bite you in the butt.
I'm just trying to get my little diploma right here and just walk out. That's all it is, just making it.
Students who can't walk out on a fight could end up building a disorderly conduct record that will follow them for the rest of their lives. Alex Villarreal, News 3.
Now, school district officials for A&M Consolidated High School in College Station say they had 42 fights last year. This school year, they've had 8.
We've got a traffic tie-up to warn you about tonight. Traffic congestion has been pretty bad the past few days at University Drive and Welborn Road in College Station, and it's expected to get worse this weekend when A&M takes on Kansas at Kyle Field on Saturday.
That's right. News 3's Clay Falls joins us now live from the bottleneck, where drivers have been experiencing detours for about a week now.
Meredith and John, some 20,000 vehicles pass through here every day, and work is underway to do the first phase of construction to replace the connector ramps between these two streets. Now, fans heading out to this weekend's football game are being warned to plan ahead and expect some driving delays. It's a busy street throughout the day, and things are looking more congested at University Drive and Welborn Road. Last week, contractors began demolishing the connector ramp from South Welborn Road onto East University Drive and have reduced North Welborn Road to 1 lane. Austin Jackson travels it every day for class at Texas A&M.
Basically, you have to go out of your way to pass by where exactly you want to turn and try to get through traffic to do a U-turn, which is a big hassle, and it's fun during a day like this whenever a lot of people are in class.
College Station police are alerting drivers to plan ahead as more than 80,000 people converge on Kyle Field Saturday. A&M senior Travis Vollnerine is also going to the game.
Actually, right after the game, I'm planning on heading back home to catch my little brother's playoff game, so I'm kind of dreading how long it's going to take the traffic to actually get, from where we're parked back to the house so we can leave.
Being previously from the Dallas area, the traffic around here is not such a big deal. So when I know about these things, and I try to just plan accordingly.
The first phase of the $3.7 million project should be completed by December 16th, but contractors still have to work on the other ramps as well, starting December 19th.
On game day, I think it's going to be pretty hectic, and it's going to kind of be a nightmare.
Now, the good news is much of the work will be happening over the Christmas break when school is out. Reporting live in College Station, Clay Falls, News 3.
All right, thank you, Clay. Now, TxDOT hopes to have work completed by January 19th, but work will be starting early next year on pedestrian improvements around Northgate as well.
So be careful out there. Well, sharing the warmth in the Brazos Valley brings comfort to those in need.
Twin City Mission's annual coat and blanket drive is a huge success. Coming up, we'll show you how your generosity made it all possible.
Bert with news in high definition. KBTX News 3.
But with colder temperatures approaching, many people are starting to pull out their coats, but for some, that is not an option. In an effort to keep everybody warm this winter, the Twin City Mission is sharing the warmth.
And today, the Twin City Mission gave more than 400 families free coats and blankets. The giveaway took place at a warehouse located on the corner of North Bryan and 22nd Street. The event has served thousands of families over the years, and it's an effort to keep those in need warm for the holidays.
Coats will be a necessity tonight as temperatures dip into the 30s. Stay with us. The complete forecast is coming up next.
News 3 weather and the Pinpoint Forecast team brought to you by the Bank and Trust. Local bank, local bankers. And now, local weather.
Temperatures are already starting to drop like a rock since the sun has set. Clear skies, light winds, perfect conditions for the temperature to bottom on out. Already down in the low to mid 50s over much of the Brazos Valley. 50 degrees, chilly readings off to the east at Crockett and Trinity. We've got 59 right now in Bryan College Station with very light winds. Most reporting stations now showing calm conditions. Bryan College Station 5 miles per hour, 3 miles per hour in Caldwell. But when you have clear skies and very light winds, the temperature is going to drop on down toward the dew point. Now right now the dew point is in the upper 20s. Hopefully we don't get that low. Right now we're expecting mid to upper 30s, but some of you in outlying areas could certainly dip down near freezing. 59 currently at Easterwood with that dew point of 29, humidity 32%, and winds out of the east-northeast at 5 miles per hour. A few clouds earlier today in deep south Texas, otherwise clear skies almost statewide, and we thank high pressure for that. And with the high right on top of us tonight, temperatures will cool down very quickly. Looking for lows again in the mid to upper 30s in our part of the state, lower 40s in San Antonio, upper 30s also in Metroplex, and all the way up to Amarillo. Just about as chilly here in the Brazos Valley as it will be in the Panhandle tonight. And highs tomorrow statewide, upper 60s to near 70 degrees for very, very pleasant conditions. Now we are looking for the high pressure to move off to the east, which will mean a return of southerly winds, and that'll bring some moisture back. Beginning tomorrow afternoon, we'll see a few clouds. They'll thicken up some on Saturday, and by Saturday afternoon, the pinpoint forecast shows a few showers off to our west. Right now, I don't think there's going to be any rain threatening the Aggie game Saturday at Kyle Field, although don't think anybody would mind if a few sprinkles fall. That's certainly for sure. But tonight, definitely no rain in the forecast, but there could be a little patchy frost in the morning with temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. And some outlying areas, typical cold spots, could dip down close to freezing. But we'll warm up quickly with the southerly flow and more sunshine tomorrow, except a few clouds in the afternoon. The highs will get back up close to 70 degrees. 39 at 7 a.m. in town, 64 by noon, 67 at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Clouds starting to increase, and it won't be nearly as cool tomorrow night, only around 6 degrees. High on Saturday, 78 degrees, and it'll be breezy as well, with winds out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Introducing a slight chance of rain on Sunday. Looks like a better chance coming up on Tuesday as our next cold front approaches, and if that times out just right, should bring some cooler, drier weather in time for Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. So that is exactly the type of weather pattern we'd like. Let's just hope that we can cap it off with some more rain early next week as we had this past week.
That'd be great.
That's a good plan, isn't it? All right, thanks, Bob. Okay.
Well, coming up next, we are going to head to Leon High School to congratulate this week's classroom champion.
Plus, we have an Aggie basketball doubleheader on the schedule tonight, including the defending national champion women on the road for the first time this year.
Sports is presented by Allen Honda, corner of Southwest Parkway and Highway 6. Allen's got your Honda. From the KBTX Sports Center, News 3 Sports starts now.
Back to work after a short break. Hello, sports fans. The Texas A&M women's basketball team on the road tonight to take on Arkansas Little Rock. It is the team's second game this week. Tuesday, the Aggies raised their national championship banner and received their rings. Following the ceremony, Gary Blair's bunch rolled past 9th-ranked Louisville, 76-58. In the game, Kelsey Bone had 15 points, 9 rebounds. A very different stat line from the game against Lamar when Bone had just 1 board.
Coach Schaefer's been on, the post-play in practice about how, we're coming in behind great post players. When you have Misha, you talk about Danielle, both Danielles, Patrice Rito, and this is the biggest team that's ever been here. And so there's no nights where we should ever be out-rebounded, and that's something that I take personal because it's just about going to get the ball. Who wants it more? So that was a challenge that I felt I had to step up to, and because me having 1 rebound is never acceptable.
Aggies match up with UNLR will tip off at 7 tonight at the Jack Stevens Center in Little Rock. Time now to crown another classroom champion, and for this week's honor, we head to Leon High School and congratulate Bryce Jarzumbrek. Obviously, we have some audio issues with Bryce's story. We'll get that fixed. The men's basketball team is playing Mississippi State as we speak. They're on ESPN2. It is a preview of SEC ball to come. The Aggies trail it in the first half, the 12-minute mark, 21-9. The Leon Cougar volleyball team losing to Poth today at the state volleyball tournament in San Marcos in the 2A semifinals. So Poth will play for the 2A state championship on Saturday. Junior college volleyball at the national championship tournament in West Plains. Blinn a winner in their first match of the day. They've got one more match tonight. Of course, we'll tell you all about that coming your way tonight at 10. And of course, we will get Bryce's story taken care of as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Daryl.
Well, look at what's coming up tonight at 10 is up next.
Plus, Bob will look at how cold it'll get tonight as we look out on the Live Eye Network over downtown Stuart. Brian. Coming up tonight at 10, an inside look at anti-terror tests taking place right here in our own backyard. Look at this video, how security companies from around the country are using A&M's Texas Transportation Institute.
And the economy wasn't able to stop an annual holiday event in downtown Bryan. We'll tell you who had to pay for it instead of the city.
Classroom champions will be here. We promise tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Yep, and it's going online in just a few moments.
A little nippy tonight.
It is already down into the 50s. And we'll cool down another 20 degrees or so. Look for lows dropping on into the upper 30s in town, low to mid 30s in outlying areas where there could be a little patchy frost. Up to 70 tomorrow. We get warmer and more humid this weekend. 78 Saturday, 81 on Sunday. Slight chance of rain. Best chance coming on Tuesday with the cold front, and that may time out just right to bring some cooler, dry weather for Thanksgiving. But pray for a little more rain coming up early next week.
We definitely need it. That would be great.
A&M Kansas on Saturday morning, 78 degrees. Not really football weather. But pretty comfortable.
Yeah, but it looks all right. I don't think it'll be raining on the game, but the jury's still out on that. Update you that at 10 o'clock.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks so much for joining us. And be sure to join us for News 3 tonight.
Thanks. We'll see you at 10. Have a great one.
Thank you for watching News 3 at 6 on KBTX. The people you know, the news you trust.